Bop, bop, bop. Let's go, baby. Chito main event, main card. He's here. I'm here for him versus Rob Font. Let's get after it. Start from the bottom, work our way up. Christoph Joko comes out against GM3, Gerald Mearshart, 34-14. Joko, 23-5. This fight, man, GM3 been hot lately. Everyone remembers him getting starched by Hamzat, literally 1-for-1 KO, incredibly terrible on his end. But he bounced back, had a lot of good W's. Joko, on the other hand, one of the most slept on fighters in the UFC. The guy doesn't get any praise, but his fight style isn't the most entertaining. But lately it has been. I'll give it to him. I think that he's got the footwork to dance around GM3. And I think that if GM3 can't sub him early, then Joko's going to win a decision. But I don't think that GM3's got enough in the tank to grab Joko and do the whole 9 yards. Joko's got a lot of energy. He's a strong guy at middleweight. He's going to be a lot to try to hold down. He's not a fish out of water on the ground himself. So give me Joko, Dano.
I'm going to go with Jocko too. And I just think he's a stud. And like you said, he doesn't get enough appreciation. His last 5 fights have all been dudes. And I've liked him in every fight, even the Sean Strickland fight where he got a decision loss. But I mean, that decision loss doesn't look as bad now that where Strickland's at. So just Jocko's just been taking care of business. Maybe he's not up there with Strickland, but I feel like GM3 is starting to fade. He's really not the best on the feet. And if he gets you on the ground, he is a submission threat, but his last 3 fights have been submission wins. So I feel like Jocko's gonna in the back of his head, he knows what's coming. So he's just gonna do everything he can to stay up. And I think Jocko's got really good takedown defense. So I don't think Mearshart's gonna be able to get him down. And if he gets stuck on his feet, then it's not good for Mearshart. But he can hang in there and anything can happen with him. So I'm gonna stick with Jocko.
Goose.
I'm with you, fellas. I'm picking Jocko in this one. Early on, and it might just have been what I wanted to do. I wanted to pick Gerald Mearshart. I thought GM3 might be able to go out and get a little sneaky submission, but then you break down the tape, and while GM3 did have actually an impressive performance his last time out, it was against a very good stylistic matchup for him. But going back a few from that, he's climbing the ranks, getting a few wins here and there, and the fights are starting to get hard for him. And I think Jocko isn't that guy who's going to go out and try and wrestle. It's going to be a tougher matchup for him than Dustin Stoltzfus was. And I see Jocko being able to beat him to about a 30-27 decision. I don't know if he's dominant enough to get that 26 that you had mentioned, but I see with his cardio, he has better cardio than GM3, and that's largely how he's been winning. GM3 has been going out, holding on really, surviving a few scary moments in the first round and then letting his cardio take over and getting the sub or getting the win late. I don't think he's going to be the one turning it on late in this one. I think Jocko is going to be the one who's getting more comfortable as this goes on. So give me Jocko by decision.
Fish.
Yeah, we got Mearshart 7-6 in the UFC, so he's almost split. But yeah, since Chimaev, he had the 3 sub streak. But when you go to Jocko, he's got an 83% takedown defense, and he's 10-5 in the UFC, ATT guy. And he's fought dudes. I mean, he's lost to guys like Uriah Hall, dogs like Brad Tavares. Strickland could play the fucking decision game ski on him. But Jocko is a dude. He's got a great record. I mean, and I think he gets the job done against Mearshart. But yeah, I mean, you can never count him out. Underdog money, maybe not, but Jocko is going to get the job done.
All right. Yeah, no, I'm looking at the Tapology right now. 40% Joko, 60% Mearshart. 79% of the people who think Mearshart's going to win believe he's going to grab the sub. So
He's a popular guy. That doesn't super surprise me.
GM3 has a very popular fan base, especially through Tapology.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next boot. Darren Elkins versus Tristan Connolly. 14-7 is Tristan Connolly, the Canadian. Darren Elkins, the American, is 26-10. Darren Elkins, his last fight, he came out against Cub Swanson, and it was tough to watch, man. Cub Swanson just kind of danced around, did his own thing, had his way with Darren, lit him up like a Christmas tree now, and literally knocked him out on his feet, man. He was a push away from eating canvas material, and he got saved by the ref. I'm not sure if it was Herb, but someone saved him. It was a good stoppage. After that, it's hard to really, bank on him against a guy like Tristan Connolly, who's also a dog. I mean, both these guys are known for just their ruthless, never give up. I'll wrestle you. I'll get bloody. I'll pull the upset. I mean, both these guys are upset dudes, man. These guys both are known to have crazy wins that they shouldn't have on their records. But they find themselves against each other, and I'm going to take Tristan Connolly just because he's a ground guy. He's a jiu-jitsu guy. And Darren Elkins usually likes to snake a lot of these wins by getting these late takedowns and getting some top position. I don't think that Connolly is going to let that happen per se. And I think that after Darren Elkins' last fight, you can't really bank on his chin. So, I mean, Connolly has a good chance on the feet to maybe do something. And then if it goes to the ground, that's kind of his world. So I'm going to take Tristan Connolly in this fight. Let's go Fishman off rep.
Yeah, so I'm kind of on the same page as you. Darren Elkins, he's since 2020 he's 2-2. Cub Swanson knockout loss. Derek Minner, he knocked him out. But then you see Nate the Train, he lost to that dude, MMA Masters guy. But yeah, kind of. And Tristan Connolly, I mean, he's 1-1 in the UFC, so doesn't have as much experience, but he's a threat on the ground. And like you said, the chin, I don't know if it'll hold up. And he's got a unanimous decision against Pereira. That was back in 2019. And then he lost to Pat Sabatini. But underdog money, I mean, I think Tristan Connolly will get the job done. But it's basically a dude. We got Darren Elkins, more experience. I mean, over 20 fights in the UFC, 16-9. And a guy who's up and coming, so 1-1. So, but underdog money, I think Connolly will get the job done. Possibly a sub.
Let's go, Goose.
Yeah. I'm on Connolly for two reasons mainly. Two of them. I'm going to save you guys the breakdown. The first one being it's hard for me to put favorite money on Darren Elkins in 2022. Okay. He's a little out of his prime at this point. I think underdog might feel a little more comfortable, even though it brings me into my second part, which if you show me a UFC fighter that can go in there and beat Michel Pereira, I'm going to pick that guy can also go in there and beat Darren Elkins. So he's done part one or the first leg. I think he's going to get the second leg done Saturday. Give me Tristan Connolly in this one.
Let's hear it, Dano.
Darren the Damage Elkins is a pretty damn cool name for a fan. But for him, that means he got that nickname from him getting the shit beat out of him and somehow still winning fights, blood all in his face, nose broken. And that's not a good nickname to have when you're 37. And I feel like it's catching up with him. Like we saw in the Cub Swanson fight, it just wasn't a good fight for him at all. And it was definitely a big difference from his last fight with Minner. So I feel like Connolly, who even though they're around the same age, he's got a lot of less miles on him. He has beat Michel Pereira. I think that he's going to be fresher. And I think when Elkins, even though he might have a good gas tank, I feel like you can push him to his breaking point a little quicker since he's had all the damage and he's getting older. So I think if Connolly keeps it on the feet or even goes to the ground, because I'm not a big fan of Elkins on the ground. I feel like he's just clunky, some ground and pound. There's not like crazy technique, whereas Connolly's nice on the ground with jiu-jitsu. So I don't know about inside distance because Elkins is durable, but I'm gonna ride with Connolly.
All right. Yeah, that fight is going to be nonsense. Let's move on to the next one. We got Jared Flash Gordon coming out against Grant Dawson. Grant Dawson 17-1-1. Jared Gordon 18-4. Right off rip, Jared Gordon. Last time we're talking about him, it's Dana White in an interview saying that he's going to be coming out against Patty. But then Patty's manager, whole scheme over there said nada, nada, nada. And that is something to consider, man. That's something. Grant Dawson, he's coming back up to 155. He's usually, 145. He can make the cut. That's where he does his best work. He's a hard, top position, dominant wrestling guy. I mean, and when the harsh reality of it is when you get up to 55, he just doesn't have that power. He doesn't have that same prowess. And for that reason, I like Jared Gordon, man. This guy always squeaks out W's, dude. This guy just finds ways to win, dude. This guy's a winner. He's very experienced, a lot of XP, a lot of high IQ, fight IQs through the roof. I think that he finds ways to win, man. And his last fight, he was doing some work on the feet. So I wouldn't be surprised if the standing exchanges are leaning towards Jared Flash Gordon. And it starts to wear on Grant Dawson's tank. And he gets something done in the third round because he usually is the one that's doing the damage in the third. So let me have my boy, Jared Flash Gordon, by way of third round sub. And I'm going to pass it to Goose.
Yeah, in this one, I am picking the Flash, Jared Gordon. I think he's a little bit more efficient on the feet. The stats show that. He's hitting 5.2 strikes per minute, where Grant Dawson's only hitting 3. He's hitting them at a little better accuracy rate. He's defending with a little better accuracy. He is getting hit with one more shot, but that just tells me he's pushing the pace and really making these fights wars. On the flip side, Grant Dawson, good fighter. Obviously, the record shows he's a pretty dominant wrestler, but in what I expect to be sort of a grinded out war, I'm going to take the guy with better cardio, better proven toughness, and that's just Jared Gordon in this one. So give me him. I like the dog money. Let's ride the Flash.
Fishman.
Yeah, first I was on Dawson. I like that he's beat Mike Trizano, Julian Erosa, and he's got 11 subs, never been subbed, only been knocked out one time. And on the other hand, Jared's been knocked out 4 times, has 6 knockouts, only 2 sub wins, but he's never been knocked out. He's a Sanford dude, but he's also on a 3-win streak here going on since 2020. So he's had 3 bouts. And Grant Dawson, 5-0-1 in the UFC, Glory MMA dude. But like you guys said, I mean, I just think Jared's fought tougher. I mean, he's not tougher dudes, but I mean, just like he's been more consistent. He has more bouts, more consistent bouts, 2018, 19. He almost fights like twice a year consistently. I think he's been more active. Oliveira, he lost to Oliveira and then is on a 3-win streak. So, I mean, he ran into the champ and then is on a 3-win streak. So, I mean, give me that. Give me the underdog Jared Gooden on that one. So, but watch out for Dawson. I mean, definitely not. He's 17-1. So, I mean, but underdog's underdog for a reason. Let's ride with Gooden, though. Let's keep that streak rolling.
Yeah, let's ride. Sanford, let's get it. Let's move on to the next one. We got Andre Feely coming out of Team Alpha Male, 21-8, the motorcycle fiend, against the man baby, I don't even know what to call this guy. He's an absolute unit. Joe Anderson Burrito, 12-3-1. This guy looks like he's 45, but we go over this every time we talk about him. He's like 24 or something. This is a nonsense matchup off rip. I mean, Joe Anderson Burrito comes out and throws absolute haymakers. And if it's not a haymaker, he's trying to pick you up and throw you in the sky. Like, this guy's an absolute menace. With that being said, a lot of muscle mass coming into fights, a lot of high exertion of energy. He will gas. And Andre Fili is not the guy to gas. This man's got all the gas. So to me, it's like another fight earlier I was talking about on this card with De Silva. This is going to be a can you get out of round one, because Brito brings everything he has and more in round one. And if he can just weather the storm, I think Andre Fili will either spark him during the storm, because he has very good counter attacks, and he's super quick, lateral movement for days. It's hard to catch him, really put your finger on him. And it's even hard to hold him down. But I think, Andre Fili's going to get out of the first round and really start to put work on this guy as the rounds kick in. Like, watch for Andre Fili late finish, man. If Joe Anderson can hang in there, man, he's going to be taking some serious shots round 3. So, I'll take Andre Fili. Let's go Dano off rip.
I'm going to stick with Andre Fili too. And I feel like Anderson Burrito had a lot of hype coming into the UFC. Dana White was had a lot of high praise for him, but he came out and we didn't really see like what the hype was. And I feel like Fili, he has a resume just full of killers. Like, he fought Holloway second fight in, and Cater, Lobov, Michael Johnson, all spread out throughout there. So he has so much experience, a lot of late rounds or decision for late round finishes or decisions for Fili. So he's got a lot of cage time, and I'm hoping that this fight, he puts all that experience in against someone who finally is not like a super killer, even though he's got a lot of hype. Like, we've seen the holes that the other guys got. Like you said, he gasses out and stuff, Brito. So I'm going to ride with Fili. I don't know about late round, because Brito is durable, but if he gasses out, Fili could snatch the neck or even knock him out. So I'm going to stick with Fili.
Yeah, Goose.
Jumping into this one, obviously Brito, he throws some haymakers in there. He's a very powerful fighter, whether it's wrestling or the striking. But I think if he has a chance to win, it's going to be that early knockout. I don't see it happening on Fili. And personally, you look at this there are levels to the game, and I feel like Fili has really cemented himself a level higher than Brito has proven to this point. Brito's still dangerous, but as the fight goes on in this one, I expect that gap to show itself. And I think Fili gets it done pretty comfortably in this one.
Yeah, let's go Fish.
Yeah, so Brito 0-1 in the UFC. He lost to Bill Algeo. But yeah, like I said, like you guys said, heavy hitter, 5 knockouts, 5 subs. But in this case, I'm going to ride with the dude with the experience. I mean, Fili, like Dano said, has fought more recently Bryce Mitchell, Charles Jourdain, Sodiq Youssef, and like in the past, Yair, Qatar, Benitez in his prime, Ski, and Holloway. But I mean, that's where I think it's gonna play out, where I think Fili's just gonna be the smarter fighter in this. He's gonna avoid the storm that Brito's gonna throw at him in the first round. I don't think he's gonna chin. And Fili, I think he gets the job done. Might be a little too high on the odds, but I think he gets the job done anyway. Yeah,
the odds on that one are going to come out. Andre Fili is going to be minus 275. Joe Anderson Brito plus 215. We're riding Fili to win, but I mean, a Joe Anderson Brito round 1 ticket is definitely not a bad bet at any moment. The guy is just an animal. I mean, doesn't matter really who's in there. He's going to bring some nonsense that you got to be calculated to get out of in round one. So let's move on to the co-main event. We got the legend Andre Arlovsky, 33-20, coming out against Jake Collier, 13-6. Wow, what a scrap here, boys. So I don't think Jake Collier can take him down because Andre Arlovsky, he kind of he's like loving where he's at right now. He's like at the point where they know not to feed him like crazy people because he's just chilling. He's like lived his moment and he just loves fighting. And the heavyweight division's not too deep. So he's kind of just getting a lot of matchups lately that he's enjoying this later stage of his career, to say the least. So he's going to get Jake Collier here, who's going to be trying to take him down for 3 rounds. And if he's not going to get him down, it's going to turn into a striking battle. And we all know how that goes. Arlovsky by way of split decision. Like, that's just the way of the road, Bubs. I mean, Arlovsky does so well with the judges. I mean, I don't know what it is, his posture and his form, but they love it, man. He always goes to the judges and wins in these tight bouts. So if it stays on the feet, it'll be sloppy back and forth. If Arlovsky doesn't find the chin, because he's good at distance control, give me Andre Arlovsky in this fight for sure. Let's go Fishman off rep.
Yeah, I'm gonna ride with Arlovsky on this one. 3-win streak, and no not to shit on Jake Collier, but his last 3 fights he's fought Sherman, Carlos Felipe, and Gian Vellante. And Arlovsky has fought, I mean, he's a vet, so he's fought just about everybody. He's got 17 knockouts, and I don't think Jake's the dude to get it done against him. I don't think it's going to happen at all. So I'm riding with Andre.
Oh, that's good for everyone that likes to do MMA math out there.
Yep.
All right, let's go, Dano.
I was on Jake Collier coming into this, but listening to you guys really like confirmed my worries. And it was that like Arlovsky's hot right now. He's experienced. He knows what he's doing. And I feel like Collier, even though he got a sub last fight, no shot is he going to sub Arlovsky. If this goes to the ground, Arlovsky's going to be the one, I feel like, doing the most, whatever it is, whether it's strikes or just moving positions. I feel like the lighter Arlovsky is going to be more in shape. Collier in his post-fight did talk about he wanted to lose some weight and get better cardio, but we see a lot of heavyweights do that and they still come out big. Collier's last couple opponents haven't been as high caliber as Arlovsky's dealt with. So I feel like Arlovsky is going to be able to edge this one out. I don't feel like Collier has too much power, even though he is a heavyweight. I don't think he's nothing Arlovsky's ever seen before. So I'm going to go with Arlovsky.
Goose.
Bring the brooms out, fellas. We got a sweep. I'm picking Arlovsky. I was very torn on this pick, just nervous mainly because Arlovsky's 43, but he seems to be on a little bit of a heater lately. He has said he's training more and training harder now than he did in his 20s. It's kind of shown in his performances. Not that he's really made huge jumps. I think, though, he has he's really only lost to killers in his UFC career. You look back at it, like he's losing to legit dudes. And lately, the UFC's kind of been giving him these chunky heavyweight strikers. And I mean, Collier's another chunky heavyweight striker. So I think he goes out and gets the decision win like he's been doing on these guys.
Yeah. Highlighted statistic is in Arlovsky's last 8 fights. He's 6-2, and those 2 L's are to Jairzinho Rozenstruik and Tom Aspinall. So, I mean, hold an L, brother. Like, come on. Like, these guys are all the way at the top of the division in no time. So, credit where it's due. He's only minus 140. I think he's parlay worthy. So, let's move on to the main event, baby. Let's go. Chito Vera. 5-rounder against Rob Font. Now, I wanted the odds to be much higher, but they're not. They're putting a lot of respect on Chito's name, as they should. But that does not stop me. Hammers are out. Chito is going to win this fight. Let's go, man. I'm telling you right now, I'm very biased. So please take that into consideration with this take. I'm going to say that out front, off rip. But every fight that Chito has, this guy literally looks like he wants 3 more rounds when the bell ends. And he gets a lot of late finishes. And even when he gets taken down, this guy is you do not want to be in this guy's guard. Like, this guy throws elbows from hell. This guy has submissions like you've never seen before. He made his entire fight career off of a triangle choke. So he's got that in his back pocket forever. I mean, he gets every kind of submission that there is to get. And he's a dog, bro. This guy, I can't say it enough. I think that it's a late round finish in this fight. I think Rob Font has a lot of tools. Everyone's going to say the jab, the jab, the jab. Yeah, dude, Chito has 5 rounds. He's at Ruka, if I'm saying it right. He's getting looks with Luke Rockhold, all these very high-level guys that are coming in there nowadays. His striking's evolving with Jason Perillo. His boxing's coming a long way. For a guy that's known to do jiu-jitsu stuff, his striking looks fucking incredible. And a guy that did this exact same route, his name's Charles Oliveira. Yeah, you ever heard of a jiu-jitsu wizard that learned to stand up? Yeah, Marlon Vera is coming. He's going to get that belt, baby. And everyone's going to be like, oh, how did we not see this coming? It's because he's a wizard on the ground, so you can't nullify him, and he can stand with anybody. And I think he's going to prove that Rob Font Saturday night. He's already had a run at the belt. He came up a little bit short. This is his second time. He knows he's going for it. This is his time. Cheeto Nation, baby. Bias pick. Let's go. Danny.
I'm riding with Chito too, and I think this is going to be a banger of a fight. But when I look at Rob Font, he's like super skilled, crazy boxing. You gotta love the New England cartel. But I feel like he's just like a pitter patter fighter. He goes a lot to decision, even though he did knock out Marlon Moraes. Moraes' chin has been fading for fights now. I feel like Chito, on the other hand, he's just like, he'll sub you, he'll go to decision with you, and like you said, he'll stand there waiting for more, or like Frankie Edgar, he'll turn your lights out. So I feel like once they're in the octagon, Chito's just going to have too many weapons, knees, elbows, anything to hit Rob Font. Whereas Rob Font, I feel like you said, he's known for just the jab. And if he wants to stay at distance, Chito's got the front kick, the teep kick. He's really good at leg kicks like we saw on O'Malley. Super effective. So I feel like he's just going to overwhelm Rob Font. So I'm going to go with Vera.
Yeah, dude, I'm going to take Chito by calf kick knockout. What do you think about that, Goose?
He's done it before. That's a solid pick. I think Rob Font doesn't check him as much as he should, and that could actually be a problem that I was going to talk about. But it looks like it's my turn, so I'm jumping into it. I'm saying I am picking one Marlon Chito Vera in this one. The dude just loves violence. And I think in the main event, that's all you can ever ask for, is someone that's going to go in there and just want to produce violence. And we will get that Saturday night. Him versus Rob Font, 2 dudes going in there looking to put on a show, both pretty electric on the feet. And then I'm interested to see the grappling exchanges as well. Chito's really coming into his own. He's 3-2 in his last 5 on end, and that's counting a robbery L to Song Yadong. So you calculate that in. I mean, really he's 3-1-1 if you followed the Sugar State Athletic Commission on a no contest a couple fights back. But but jokes aside, I think the main things that we can go off of is the recent Aldo fights. And I think in the first 3, Chito fared a lot better than Rob Font did. And I think with Chito's cardio, Rob Font won't be able to take over those later rounds like he did to get that, make it a 3-2 against Aldo. And he doesn't really have the pop to put Chito out. everyone thought that Cody Garbrandt's chin came back after the Rob Font fight because he was taking some good shots. And I mean, it caused me to pick Cody against Kai France, and which was a pretty bad showing for him. The chin obviously did not come back.
Doesn't.
So I think
We're doing this though.
he did do that.
Did ask
He
for
did
it.
do that. But I think that doesn't bode well for him and what's going to be a grueling fight against Cheeto on this one. I think Cheeto is going to be hitting him with the harder shots. And if it does go to the ground, it's going to be right in Cheeto's wheelhouse. He'll be comfortable down there. So all things put together, I'm taking Cheeto on this one. He's got the underdog value. I love this play.
Let's go, Fish.
So we got Chito and Rob Font, two dudes who I think are two of the best in the division coming up right now. And Rob Font, we got his last fights. We got Aldo Garbrandt and Marlon Moraes, now retired, but New England cartel guy. And, you know, he loves his jab, but front kick Fish is riding with front kick Chito on this one. And for the reason being, very slept on guy, 12-6 in the UFC. I mean, he's lost to Jose Aldo, and he's just a finisher, dude. He's never been finished. 7 knockouts, 8 subs, and I think Rob Font is good, but I think Chito is just a finisher, and I'll take the finisher over a guy that this dude's a savage, bro. This dude's a savage. He's gonna kick the fuck out of him, and I don't know. I don't think just sticking behind the jab is gonna work with a dude like Chito. So we're riding with front kick Chito, baby. Let's get it.
Let's go. High level advice right now for all my gamblers, my high tech gamble techs out there. Cheeto starts slow. Do not throw up the red flag when he loses round 1 of this fight, because he definitely will. He likes to calculate. He likes to get everything going. He's like when you turn on the stove, you know, you got to crank that puppy up. And as this fight goes on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, he's only going to get more dangerous. So if you like live betting, wait until that first round ends. You're going to get an even better underdog price on Chito. And he's going to only get better as this fight goes on. So keep that one in your domes piece, man. That's a CEO suggestion right there. All right. Those are the picks, baby. Anybody got anything?
Hey, go check out the socials and go look at the past weeks, what we've done. Results speak for themselves, and you got to ride with the geeks.
Let's go, Cheeto Nation, to the moon.